What is up, Hankiboy here, and today we are looking at the state of Dead Matter's development. For those of you who do not know, Dead Matter is an upcoming zombie survival FPS being developed by Quantum Integrity Software, and it's set for a closed alpha sometime in July 2020. I am absolutely pumped for this game. I've been playing survival building games for as long as I can remember. I've spent thousands of hours in games like Rust, 7 Days to Die, H1Z1, DayZ, Minecraft, Space Engineers, Ark, Conan, RimWorld, Terraria, Empyrean. Probably forgetting some, but I've spent my fair amount of time in survival games. And I've not been excited for an upcoming game in a while now. But this game, man, it's got me pumped. So far, all the features the devs are putting into this game, it's pretty much what I've always expected to be in a survival game, and I really want you guys to be just as pumped as I am about this. The amount of details and mechanics the dev team is planning on having in Dead Matter is just insane. So to get you guys pumped, I've compiled as much info as I could find to give you a picture of what the game looks like right now and what we can expect to have once we get into the closed alpha. Do remember, this is a work in progress, and everything shown here, even if it does come from the dev blogs and reliable sources, it does not mean it's going to make it in-game as is, or even make it in-game at all. So I have split everything up into 5 topics, and I'll be talking about the content and mechanics for each of those topics that, in my opinion, are going to make Dead Matter a particularly good survival game. Those topics are the character mechanics, of course, the base building and claiming mechanics, the world Dead Matter is going to be set in, and what you can expect to be able to do in game, the enemies, NPCs, the factions, and also the weapons and all they have planned as far as weapon mechanics. I do not know how many videos this series is going to need to cover all the points I want to talk about, but it definitely won't fit in a single video. So I'm thinking maybe a video for each topic, but we'll see how that turns out. And as usual, you know how it is, I would be absolutely grateful if you guys took a few seconds to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to show your support, and always feel free to leave a comment in the comment sections and do all that good YouTube stuff. Alright, so your character, your avatar, the representation of yourself in game, the thing you have to make survive in the world of Dead Matter. So yeah, let's start with the obvious and make our way into what makes this game a little bit more unique. So as expected from pretty much any survival game, really any game really now, you'll be able to choose the physical appearance of your avatar at the start of the game. How in-depth this is going to be, we do not really know as of now, but also once you've created your avatar, you'll be able to change your looks in game with clothing and gear. But the part I really like about Dead Matter's character mechanics is the attributes part of it. When creating your character, you will choose an occupation. This is a representation of what you did before everything went to shit. Your occupation will give you a set of perks and determine your starting gear and clothing. Those perks will give you bonuses when performing certain actions, and in addition to starting perks, you get points to spend on additional perks of your choosing. The occupation you choose will dictate how many points you get to spend on extra perks, and you can also grab some negative perks, which will give you in return extra points to spend on other positive perks. Your occupation will also dictate your SEDA points. SEDA stands for Strength, Endurance, Dexterity, and Agility. Your strength will determine your max carry weight, your max hit points, and how much damage you deal with melee weapons. Your endurance determines your max limb health, your resistance to poison, infections, and stuff like that. Your dexterity will determine how quickly you use weapons, be it reloading a weapon, pumping a shotgun, or cycling a bolt-action rifle. Your agility will determine things like how fast you'll raise your weapons after sprinting, how fast you sprint, and for how long you can sprint. I will not go too in depth through all the available occupations and perks, as those are subject to change, but I will have a list of the ones I can find on screen, and as you can see, you'll have plenty of options to build a character that fits your playstyle. The next aspect of the character mechanics that's got me excited is the health system. At first look, it seems quite overwhelming, but if I trust what I have read here and there, it should not be as intense as it seems. So basically the health system will be divided into 3 aspects. your vitals, your limbs, and your conditions. So for conditions, from what I understand, it's basically the injuries you've sustained, and those injuries have negative effects until you take care of them. So for example, you have a broken hand, actions requiring a hand will be performed slower. Like putting batteries in the flashlight and whatnot. If you have a broken leg, you're gonna walk slower and things like that. Then you have your limb health, which is sort of a representation of each of your limbs' HP. If your head or torso hits 0, you are done. Also, your limb health, from what I understand, is kind of related to your conditions. So let's say you have a burn on your right arm, well, the health of that arm will be lower. And I'm guessing if any limb health hits 0, well, it's probably not going to be good, right? And then you have your vitals, which are themselves sort of divided into two. On one side, you have your hydration, energy, carbs, proteins, and fats. So your hydration is, of course, drinking water and whatnot, and it will kill you if it reaches 0. Your energy will start depleting carbs, proteins, and fats if it reaches 0. Then carbs, proteins, and fats will have some negative effects if they fall below a certain number. Then you have your blood, your oxygen, your BPM, your blood type, and body temp. Your blood amount dictates how fast your limbs will regain health, and if your blood drops to 0, well, you guessed it, you die. As far as oxygen goes, I'm pretty sure it's the same concept, but maybe it helps replenish stamina instead of health, but I'm really not sure about this one. And I'm guessing that you die if your oxygen hits 0. As far as BPM and body temp goes, I'm guessing these will have negative effects at certain values, and your blood type will most likely be used for blood transfusions. Note that there will be food and medical items to help with all those values and conditions, but there's no instant heal type of items. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what the PvP dynamic is going to be in Den Matter. I'm really excited about that part. And finally, we have the character's stats, which are determined by your perks and setup points. And from what I understand, these will be affected by conditions and your overall health. The stats seem to dictate how efficient your character is going to be at pretty much anything he does, from the rate at which he will recover blood to how fast he searches containers. The next very interesting aspect for your character, and of course a staple of any survival game, is the inventory system. Now this one is probably the one I am most excited about. I've always found that inventory systems were either too simple or were really in depth but just made no sense and were a pain to navigate. I think the devs of Den Matter are really moving the inventory system in a good direction. It is a very realistic inventory system, but it just makes so much sense that you take a quick look at it and you immediately understand what's going on. So you have slots for your gear, such as helmets, gloves, masks, jackets, pants, boots, backpacks, vests, and slots for weapons you can strap on your back. You also have a tool belt, which will hold specific items that will carry through that if you're not on a hardcore server. Then any piece of gear you've equipped that has storage space, such as a backpack, or has pockets, such as a pair of pants, you can of course stick stuff in it. And the system is built in a way that, let's say your pants have 4 pockets, well, you will have 4 distinct spaces with cells to put items in. And the amount of cells you get is of course a realistic representation of that object. So no, you won't be able to put a C7 assault rifle in the back pocket of your jeans. Also, you will be able to put weapons in quick access slots that will be accessible from a quick bar. So let's say you have a sidearm holster on a vest you found you've equipped, you will be able to put a sidearm in it and bind it to a hotkey. The same goes for pants with waistbands and so on. You will be able to strap bulkier weapons on the side of some backpacks. You'll be able to store items inside of other items. So let's say you put a cooking pot in your backpack, well, you can stick whatever fits in the cooking pot inside it while the pot is in your bag. Also, the cells of any storage compartment can be destroyed if your container is damaged, and the damaged cell will prevent you from putting an item on it, so keeping your gear in good condition is something you will have to do. there you have it, guys. I think this is gonna be it for this video. This was a quick look at a few of the mechanics really relating to your character. We took just a quick glimpse at the character creation and stats, the health system and inventory system. We could go way deeper, of course, but I think this gives you a pretty good idea of how in-depth the devs want to go with the realism for this game. And I honestly can't wait to jump into this game, man. So yeah, that's it for this video. Up next, we'll be looking at the base building and claiming mechanics. The world then matter is going to be set in, the enemies, the NPCs, and the weapons. And by then, hopefully, the closed alpha will be up and running. And of course, as usual, you know, guys, show some support for the channel if you have enjoyed this video, if you have learned anything. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it. Make sure to leave some comments in the comment section below if you have anything to say, and I will see you guys in the next one.